Hello everyone, welcome to sqadia.com. Today we are discussing cell cycle regulation and we are at section 2, and in this particular section we are going to have a look on the regulation of kinase activity. So let's get started. In this particular section we are going to have a look on the discussion of the effects of CDC25 along with V1 on mitosis promoting factor activity, and it plays very important functions of whether it is going to be activated or whether it is going to be deactivated in this particular case. We are going to have a look on what happens when there is a case when there is a deficit or a mutation in either V1 or either there is a mutation in CDC25 and how it is going to alter the cellular morphology. In what case the cells are going to be, in which form of the mutations the cells are going to be elongated, and in which case the cells are going to be very short and spherical in nature. This would be followed by the discussion of regulation of kinase activity of membrane mitosis promoting factor, and we are going to have a look on how the activity of V1, activity of CDC25, basically causes the phosphorylation at the inhibitory proteins, phosphorylation of the residues at a particular points, and we are going to have a look on how these inhibitory phosphorylation is being removed by the action of CDC25 and how this particular activity is being regulated. This would be followed by the control of discussion of the anaphase control by the APC, and we will have a look on how APC is being activated by CDC20 and how this activated APC, anaphase promoting complex, is going to chop down a particular complex via the securin molecules by the tagging with the ubiquitin and hence moving it towards the proteasome for the proteasomal cleavage. Of course, this would cause the activation of the separase, which is basically going to chop down the cohesion molecules that are present as a strong link between the two sister chromatids. When this particular bridge between the two sister chromatids is being broken, they can be separated by the pull during the telophase, of course. So all of these we are going to discuss one by one. So let's start with the discussion of the effects of CDC25 and V1 on the MPF activity. So what happens in this particular case, we have take an example of the deficit of CDC25 or we have excess of V1. So what happens in this particular case, the CV1, excess of V1 in this particular case caused the inhibition of the cyclin CDK complexes. So there is no CDC25, so there would be elongated CDK1 in this particular case, and of course there would be increased G2 phase after synthesis phase. Because there is no inhibition, the cells are going to be replicated. In this particular case, they are going to have abundant log on the cytoskeleton structure as well, resulting in the elongated cells. What would happen in the case when there is a deficit of V1 or there is an excess of CDC25? So it's important to consider over here that there is a deficit of V1. It means that as you can see over here, the V1 is going to inhibit the CDK activity at the of the mitotic signaling, M-phase signaling, and CDC25 is going to cause the promotion of the CDKs. So what happens in this particular case, there is no deficit, there is no V1 to cause the stoppage of the M-cyclin. So whenever the M-cyclin is being produced, usually what happens is the M-cyclin, when it's being produced, is needed to be stopped for a particular while so that the cell takes all of the nutrients in that particular environment so that the continuous growth takes place and there is a smooth transition. So what happens when there is no V1? So there would be no checking down, there would be no inhibitory phosphorylation that of course would be done by the V1. So in this particular case, what would happen, the moment MCDK cyclins are being produced, the next moment they are going to move the cells into the G2 and would result in the cytokinesis portion. And this was the opposite of what happened in the CDC25 deficit case or when there was excess in the V1. So in this particular case, because there is no check, so This would result in the production of small cells because there is a very small G2 phase. The time span for the G2 phase is very small because there is no V1 to check to stop the MCDK cyclin activities, and so there would be no time for them to of course grow in this particular case, resulting in a very establishment of very small size cell because of the G2 phase. The G2 phase in this particular case, when there was a deficit of V1 and there was an excess of CDC25, is decreased. So moving on towards the regulation of the kinase activity of the mitosis promoting factor, also known as the MPF. So what happens in this particular case, the CDK have two activities. We have a tyrosine, we have threonine at 161, we have tyrosine at 15, residue, the amino acid sequence is 15. So what happens in this particular case, CDK is going to bind with the mitotic cyclin over here, as you can see. So this would result in the activation, partially activation of this particular molecule, because there is a binding of the mitotic cyclin with the CDK, as we have discussed in the previous section, in the previous lecture, of course. So what happens is, in the presence of the V1, there is a phosphorylation of the tyrosine residues, which is basically the inhibitory phosphorylation, and this would result in the inactivation of the MPF form. So what happens, the CDK activating kinase, as we discussed in the very first section, its role, of course, it is going to cause the phosphorylation at threonine 161 residues, as shown over here. And this would, of course, also cause the double phosphorylation, resulting in an inactive form of the MPF. So in order for the MPF to be activated to perform its kinase activity, CDC plays an important role. Now what CDC does is, CDC basically is a phosphatase, so it functions to remove the phosphate group from this particular residues, this tyrosine residues at 15 position. So this would result in the activation of the MPF kinase activity, and it is going to perform its activity that we have discussed in the previous section as well, of course. So talking about the control of anaphase entry by the APC, we have discussed in the beginning of section that APC is being activated by CDC20. Now CDC20 is basically activated by another enzyme, polokinase, but that's not the topic of our discussion. So activated APC, what it does, it basically tags a securin molecule with the ubiquitin signals. So there is a polyubiquitin formation as shown over here, and this particular ubiquitin is being degraded by the proteasome under the process of the proteasomal cleavage, of course. Now this basically securing degradation would cause the activation of the separase enzyme, and the active catalytic site is being opened in this particular case as a result of APC ubiquitinylation. So what happens in this particular case, it is going to chop down the SCC1 proteins, and this chopping down of the SCC1 protein by the securin as shown over here would result in the detachment of SMC1 and SMC3 dimers that are present on each sister chromatid, so that during the telophase, when there would be a pull towards their polar regions, they are going to move towards the opposite ends. So talking about the formation of S-phase promoting factors, what happens in this particular case, we have M phase, the mitotic phase, where all of the phases occur starting from the prophase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase. We have this is followed by and after first M phase, we are going to see the cytokinesis, where the cytoplasm is being divided and there is a mother cell and there is a daughter cell. So what happens immediately after the meiosis, the daughter cell, of course, is comparatively smaller in size, so it is going to grow in this particular case. And this particular case would be the case of G1, where there would be the replication in the cytosolic proteins. We are talking about the organelles that are being replicated in G1 phase. So what happens when the cell has attained a particular morphology, particular size, its particular morphology is going to send signal for the initiation of the synthesis phase, because the cell has replicated every single necessary thing that is required for the division of the cell. So the only thing left is the replication or the duplication of what? The DNA, of course. So what happens in this particular case, the spindle 4 body duplication is going to form, and this would result in the bird emergence, resulting in the DNA replication that I have discussed. And of course, this would result in the nuclear migration, and again, the cell would enter into G2 and resulting in the M phase as well. So this process goes on and on. So this particular section, we discussed the effects of CDC25 and V1 on the MPF activity. We also discussed the regulation of kinase activity on MPF. This was followed by the control of anaphase entry by the anaphase promoting complex, and that is all for this particular section. Thank you for watching sqadia.com. I'll see you in the next section.